Sunday morning.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
Sunday morning.
Good.
Get up. Get up right now. If you headed to church, come listen to us. We are back. We are back, pod folk.
Good Lord have mercy.
We are back. Look, we got extra claps here.
I don't even know what to do right now.
We got extra claps out here.
I don't even know how to deal with
Hold on. This is all a party over here.
Tu demagogia me llama hace meses. Prendieron velones para que en la vida a mí me vaya mal. Cuando te has visto que el que está con Dios que le va mal. Estamos en hoja, 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 estamos en hoja,
We about the money. That's all that song is about. He said he was the he actually said within, that intro. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
In the name of Jesus. Wake up. Wake
Praise
up.
the Lord. You got to rise up.
Wake up. I show sleep.
Rest in peace, Stuart Scott.
Good morning, everybody, man. Good morning. Good morning.
We are back.
We're a little bit late. Unfortunately, life happening. Not just this morning, but life has been happening that has thrown some curveballs at your boy.
Definitely.
But your boy back good. So had to take a couple strikes, but eventually got that thing in play. And here we go.
And then that's all that matters, man.
That's all that matters. Once again, welcome
to another episode.
It's your boy Sincere Da Vinci.
And it's your boy Jay Honey.
And this is the JaySin podcast.
¿Qué lo que, mi gente? Dime qué lo que contigo. ¿Cuál es la pámpara?
Everything that nigga said in English. You heard. If you are here, we want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for live streaming with us this Sunday morning. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. And if you're listening to us on the way to church, we're giving you a reason to repent. So we appreciate everything you're doing with us.
And to confess with that priest. Definitely.
There you go, because you're going to have to talk about some things.
Mm-hmm.
While we're here, go get the JaySin merch. But more importantly than going to get some JaySin merch, subscribe to the YouTube page.
Exactly.
Follow us on
IG, Spotify, SoundCloud, Facebook, Apple Podcasts.
There you go. Follow us everywhere we stream.
The major platforms.
Tell your friends about it. Like it. Share it. Just help grow this thing organically. Definitely. And then go get you some JaySin merch. Mainly because we don't really make money off it. It helps go back into this machine and helps us try to grow. All right?
Pretty much.
How was your week, bro?
It's all based on promotion. My week was actually fantastic. I mean, it was better than the week that I got back from DR, definitely. And, my weekend practically started with a bang. I went to the El Alfa El Jefe concert, which was a big deal because
what are they?
El Alfa El Jefe? He's a solo artist.
He's an artist.
Yes, he's an artist. Yes, he's a Dominican solo artist. His name is El Alfa El Jefe. It's sort of like
he just sounds like
your name is Sincere Da Vinci, but his name is El Alfa El Jefe, which simply means he's an alpha male and he's the boss.
And the alpha boss.
Exactly. The alpha boss.
He just sounds like he's, you know what? I'm going to leave that alone.
He sound like what?
Nothing.
Are we going to hate now?
I'm not hating. I'm just saying. I'm not going to hate. I like the music. Okay. I just didn't know the name. But El Alfa Jefe sound like that nigga moving more than records. Okay? That's all I'm going to say.
You know what? Based on what you said, there's always been a theory behind his name because of what you just said.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not the only nigga.
I'm not surprised you feel that
All
way.
right.
Yeah. There's theories, but you know, from my recollection and from what I know, you know, of him and you know what from like Dominican culture knows of him, he's never been like, you know, that kind of individual. You know, to be like dealing in the streets. He's never been known as a gangster or anything like that, or any type of like drug dealer or money washer or whatever the case is. He's just always been known as a person that's worked very hard, and he's basically just gotten people around him that actually believe in him and that have invested into his career. And he started doing that actually on his own. So again, when I say he comes from the dirt, bro, he comes from the dirt. He actually grew up within the capital, but outside of the capital, if I make sense. If that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah,
like
so
he didn't grow up in the center of the capital, like in the city part, in the city part. He grew up like on the outskirts of it, basically.
So it's like a nigga who didn't grow up and he grew up in New York, but he was in Long Island.
Correct.
Yeah.
It would be something along those lines. Exactly.
Gotcha.
So when I say dirt, bro, like he practically like he lived in the street for some time, and like today he's a millionaire. And I always tell people that there's levels to everything. There's even levels to being poor. And my thing is, here in the United States, for instance, if you're poor, you have programs, you have some type of backing from the government, you can collect some type of money. In Dominican Republic, there is no backing from the government. The government takes taxes from its people. They basically leech off their people and don't return anything at the end of the year to its citizens. And there's no type of financial backing. There's no type of programs out there. So whatever you do, you have to make sure it generates you money and you're able to sustain a living with whatever you're doing. So as a result, people find themselves doing things basically that they're not supposed to do, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It means to survive.
To survive, right.
Correct. So, you know, to have someone, you know, of his walk of life, you know, come into the scene, you know, make sound waves basically with his music, and to come out of the Dominican Republic and into the international scene, it's just a huge ordeal, you know, because a lot of us, we were used to listening to a lot of reggaeton in the early 2000s. And, you know, just to be exact about things and just technical about things, reggaeton is actually a version of reggae.
Yep.
You know, because the word reggaeton has reggae in it.
The Spanish version of reggae.
Correct. And, you know, that actually the first country who actually adopted reggae, the first Hispanic country to adopt reggae was actually Panama. So there was a Panamanian producer along with New York producers who created what's called the pounder rhythm. So get your notepads out, pod folk. They basically created this rhythm based off the song Dembo. You remember the song by Shabba Ranks called Dembo?
Dembo, yeah. Dembo, yeah. Of course.
Exactly. So after that song, the Jamaican producers that were here in New York already, this was all created in Long Island, by the way, and this Panamanian producer by the name, I believe, of Dennis the Menace Thompson created this rhythm, because you know that reggae has so many different types of rhythms.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the rhythms that they happened to create that caused an influence in Puerto Rico is called the pounder rhythm. So in the early 90s, this sound was created, and it was kind of similar to what I played to you just now in the way it's structured, but you can look it up, pod folk. It's simple. It's called the pounder rhythm by Dennis the Menace Thompson. And that's where it all started, basically. So the DNA actually of Dominican dembow, because now I'm breaking it down, and reggaeton is this pounder rhythm that I'm talking about. So a lot of people nowadays, they try to kind of like hide the history behind on how these reggae versions or these reggae prototypes in the Caribbean was created, which was first adopted by Panama, then it was adopted by Puerto Rico, and then obviously that influence came over to Dominican Republic because, believe it or not, Puerto Ricans and Dominicans are very close. So the first people or the first audience to accept reggaeton, believe it or not, was Dominican Republic. And a lot of people in Puerto Rico, they weren't for it because the music was underground at that point. And they didn't even call it reggaeton at that point. It didn't have a formal name. They called it playero, and they called it dembow as well. So then as time, went on, the music certainly evolved, and reggaeton came to be, what it came to be, basically.
What it is now.
What it is, exactly what it is now. Thank you for correcting me on that. Yeah. And it all started, obviously with La Gasolina. It started with Gasolina. It started with Tego Calderon, with his songs. It also started with Don Omar.
Tego. And there was just Calderon. Oh man, Tego.
Exactly. And there was just a massive movement before those guys came into the scene, because actually that's when it hit mainstream, when you started hearing those guys like Don Omar, Tego Calderon. But there was a lot of other guys before that, and even the same Daddy Yankee, he was around, because the music and the genre of reggaeton, which wasn't called reggaeton at the time in the mid-90s, started around that time roughly. And I'd say in Dominican Republic, it started around, in the capital, around where El Alfa grew up, actually, around, I'd say like the mid 2000s. I'd say like it first broke in 2008, and that's when he broke out with a hit song. And then after that, in terms of like the DR movement, of dembow and their own music and their own version of reggae, it started evolving as time has gone on. And this past Friday, it marked the first legit urban artist from that genre, dembow, because we started doing hip hop actually back in 2006. We started doing Spanish hip hop back in 2006, and that's kind of like sparked the movement. But then other people decided to do dembow because they wanted something to basically make people dance to, and enjoy while they were having a drink. Because, there's certain people that they can't enjoy, let's say, a rap song, if they're drinking in the club or whatever the case is. There's just certain people who are wired that way.
Right.
So they wanted to make something that was actually, something you can dance to, something that you can vibe to, something that you can just feel good about, basically. So that's kind of like where that genre came in. Shortly after hip hop or Spanish hip hop started the movement in Dominican Republic around 2005, 2006. So, it's been a long time coming. And right now, it's evolved basically to a point where a lot of people are coming out. Funk Flex, Busta Rhymes is supporting the movement as well. And again, it's just our version basically of reggae. And that's all.
Appreciate the love, Kevin. I see you. Yeah, man. That's dope. I'm glad you were able to share that with us, because that's a hell of a history.
Mm-hmm. I gave you a history in like, what was it, 7 minutes, 8 minutes or something? I don't know.
It was about 10.
I didn't time it.
It didn't matter. Like, this is our show. I don't give a fuck how long it took. I was listening. I was learning this shit.
Right.
I don't like. Maybe I'm weird, but I like learning shit. So I'll set the fuck up and I will listen.
Right.
The whole time I'll shut the fuck up and I'll listen, because I like learning. I like learning things. But that's just me. I remember back in the day when Don Omar was popping. Me and Grace got together. They used to say I looked like Don Omar when I had my braids. That shit was terrible. No offense to Don Omar. Like that's you know what I mean?
Right.
Nothing but love to that nigga. But it was like, man.
Yeah, he's starting to come back on the scene too. He's been missing for a long time because of contractual disputes. But he's actually come back and he's making music. And now Daddy Yankee seems like he's on the last leg of his career and he's retiring.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting, you know, how that dynamic is going to work because they were actually heavy rivals in the early 2000s, basically.
Well, I just want to say real quick because I know he's listening, Cuddy.
Cuddy was happening.
Was happening, bro. I know you're listening. All right, so let's get into this first time. Oh, my week. It was cool. I did a lot of preparing yesterday. I went and saw Hamilton, the opening weekend here in Philly. So we went, me and the wife and a group of friends went and seen Hamilton last night, and it was incredible.
I heard that's an outstanding show.
It's incredible. You can watch it if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it yet,
can I watch it for free somewhere? Because I hear I can't afford it. Someone told me you can't afford it. I was like, okay.
I'm not gonna say what tickets were, but I'm not gonna say what tickets were. I'm not here to do that. But they're not cheap. They're not cheap.
That's what I've heard.
So yeah, we know you here, your black nigga. Oh, evil darkness, nigga. We know you here.
Darkness.
But if you want to watch it and you happen to have, oh, that's on your side. That's going crazy. If you want to watch it, you're more than welcome.
But you hear playing a voice? What are you hearing?
I was hearing voices.
Oh.
You can go and you can go on Disney Plus. Disney Plus has Hamilton for free, and you can go and watch it for free with the original cast. So you can watch it with the original cast for free. If you have Disney Plus, it's there. So, go ahead and read on to what's going on next into I'm sorry, I'm over here distracted by my wife texting.
Man, it must be good that you've taken this pause because shit.
She wanted me to make sure that people knew that that I say that the tickets were a gift, which they were. But that
my gosh.
Yeah, that's what she wanted, but that doesn't change the fact that you asked how much the tickets were.
Right, exactly.
So
they're just a lot of money. Google it.
There you go. So they were a gift.
They were a lot of money. Google it.
Still won't tell you how much they were.
Just go on Google, Pop-Folk.
Yeah, you can go Google how much they were.
To watch Hamilton.
Okay. But yeah, so anyway, moving forward.
So you saw Hamilton this week and you had a decent week.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
I watched basketball. Every night basketball came on this week. I watched every game that was on TNT and ESPN.
You sure?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
It was that good, right?
Man, this was one of the best opening weeks in a
while, right?
Very long time.
So much star power.
We're gonna get to that. Yeah. But first, let's go ahead and get to this. I want to go ahead and throw this out there real quick. After 23 students were arrested in 3 days in the Louisiana high school over fights, a group of fathers created Dads on Duty, 40 dads who take shifts at the school. There hasn't been a single incident at the school since the dad showed up.
That's fantastic.
Now, I think this is incredible.
I think so too.
I think this is incredible. Like, first off, you want to talk about being active in your kids and your son's life? Not even just sons, your kids.
Shout out to those 40 great men.
Shout out to them dads, man. And they black men. 40 black men.
Look at that. Cherry on top of the
and I'm sure there were some Latin dudes in there.
Yeah, a minority.
It's a minority neighborhood. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm sure that but man, we was there. I wish y'all, you know what I mean? I'll Google that. We're gonna put it up on the page. What, looking at these black men just out there.
Fantastic.
Just being great. Just being wonderful.
Being great and servicing their community. Yeah.
And letting their kids know, I will fuck you up in here.
Mm-hmm. Whether you my son or not.
I will fuck you up out here.
I will put you in 8 headlocks. Come on, folks.
And if you my child, I will for sure fuck you up in here. In front of your fucking friends. In front of your friends.
Yep, embarrass you.
That little joint over there you thought you liked, I will give you a wedgie in front of her. You hear me? Yep. Wedgie, atomic wedgie.
Yep.
Pull them Ralph Lauren polo drawers up over the back of your shit. You heard?
Exactly. Make that shit look like a Victoria's Secret.
Crazy. I sent you to school. What am I supposed to do? I sent you to school to learn.
Exactly.
I ain't sent you to school for the rest of this dumb shit. Why am I here?
Be playing around. Exactly.
Why am I here?
You know those dads are pissed off already because they're there and they gotta watch these kids.
I'm supposed to be.
So let one of those kids fucking act up.
I'm supposed to be doing anything but this. Right? I work nights. Okay? I work nights.
Yep.
Little Jermaine. Now you out here acting up. Now I gotta come here and spend my day here with you because you don't know how to act right. This is supposed to be the time of the day when me and your mama at home playing naked grab ass.
Exactly.
I can't even get no freak home because you want to act up. I'm extra angry.
Exactly.
Extra angry.
I'm present, but I'm angry. And
would your pops be one of these kids, one of these fathers?
Nah, I doubt it. Because the thing was, when I was growing up, my dad, he had his own business, so he had to like front it, and he didn't really have anyone to like just sit there and just take care of it, you know? Like maybe my mom could have taken over for a little bit, but like I think these dads are there almost every day, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I don't think my dad would have been able to do something like that. What about your dad or what about grandpa?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
My grandfather. First off, my father wasn't in the country.
Okay.
My father was overseas somewhere fighting for the nation.
Correct. Shout out to that man.
And
thank you for your service, sir.
My grandfather would have been good to come down to the school for like 5 minutes. And then he had to get him out of there.
Right.
My grandfather got 5 good minutes in him when it come to school.
Right.
He got like, and I'm dead ass. My grandfather, I love my grandfather to death. That nigga had 5 minutes. Like when he was picking us up from school, we could walk home. We was 2 blocks from the crib. Nope, not my grandfather. He pulling up in a Cadillac, stopping all the traffic, and he's sitting out front with the music on, playing rap music. And you got 5 minutes to pull up. You got 5 minutes to get in this car, or he gonna pull off.
He's out.
But nigga, where are you pulling off to? We live 2 blocks away.
You probably had to make a quick pit stop somewhere.
That's my pops.
Before going home.
Yeah, and we never went straight home, bro. Like we would get out of school and like we would get out of school and like
I know people like that.
Bro.
That
we get out of school at like 3
go.
o'clock.
Yeah.
We get out of school at 3 o'clock. My grandfather pick us up. We get home at 6. My grandma be like, "What the fuck took 3 hours to go 2 blocks?" Like, you know I had things to do when you told me to pick him up. This is what my grandfather couldn't do it because he gonna pull up. And he gonna be like, "How long we gotta sit here for?" Be like, "We here all day." Tony be like, "God damn, the whole day? I ain't got a whole day. I got 12 minutes, and I gotta get out of here. I gotta go check the boiler." You ain't gotta go check no boiler. That's my grandfather's word for you gonna be high.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna check the boiler, he gonna get high.
He gonna get high, right?
Fuck out of here. But shout out to all the fathers, man, that did good shit here, man. Shout out to all the pops out there, man.
Definitely, man. To all the great men. You know, we need more of that in society. We need to highlight that a lot more, you know, especially with our men who are heavily targeted, I'd say, in this sense, you know, and we always try to get that, you know, we always get that bad rap basically from the media and everybody. And, you know, I think it's a beautiful thing, to be quite honest. This
cappuccino that my wife purchased
is hitting.
Man, it's incredible. Incredible.
Cappuccino.
No, capugul. The capugul.
Molti bene.
Luigi.
Shout out to my Italians out there, man.
Yeah. Luigi.
Number
look at these are bananas. The tortoise shell is the Luigi. Anyway, let's go on to Alec Baldwin.
Oh man,
killed his film, the director of photography, Helena Hutchins, and ended the director of the film by firing a prop gun. Now, initially, this story has morphed.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's technically morphing or if they're just slowly getting new details.
Slowly leaking things out.
But what's happening is initially it was on the set of the movie Rust in New Mexico, and apparently it was just something gone wrong when it was initially reported. And now as things have gotten deeper, apparently like people were taking this gun out for like target practice against like orders. The people who get the armory who gave them this gun has a history of negligence. Like they checked out to a child.
My goodness.
Year or something crazy like this. So like they're negligent in general, apparently. This is also the gun that the woman who was killed and the director explicitly told Alec Baldwin to stop playing with. And that was him making the statement of, look, it's not even loaded, and putting like and firing.
Correct.
And killing them. Like I don't know what is going on. We will get more details as it comes to light. But Alec Baldwin, man, he's had a rough go of it. He's had a rough go of it. But
definitely,
we want to take a moment for, say our thoughts and prayers and energy and everything are with you and the Hutchins family.
Definitely,
body
grieving well wishes, for everyone involved in this.
Yeah, so
it's a tragedy, bro. It's a tragedy all around, and just to hear things like this, it's like it's not an accident. People keep saying it's an accident. I don't think it's an accident. I think accident and negligence have two totally different definitions.
Thank you, bro.
And this is clearly negligence on the part of Alec Baldwin and his staff. Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, Alec Baldwin is also the producer of this film as well.
Yep.
So whoever's the staff behind, the props and all this kind of stuff, they all need to get arrested and tried, because my goodness. And even Alec Baldwin, I'm sorry, like he's going to have to get part of this responsibility. He shares a percentage of what happened. So he's going to have to be tried as well. He's going to have to be tried.
It goes so far. Look, bro, it goes so far down the line with this that I don't understand how we got here. From the people, from the armory to the prop managers,
my goodness,
to the handlers, to the assistants, there's a chain of command
that this prop
has to go through.
Did they go through the protocol? That's the question.
Like this is a whole lot of questioning,
bro.
Not even is it supposed to go through the protocol just once. It is supposed to go through this protocol every time it's used. That's how you keep these sets safe, especially with firearms. We've had this happen with Brendan Lee.
Exactly. Back in 1993 of the filming of The Crow. No.
It's happened multiple times since then, but that's the one that sticks out because that one was what took Bruce Lee's child from us. He was supposed to be a huge star.
The next film, the next biggest film star, definitely.
And it took him right from under us, and it took a while. They took a while to kind of try to find try to recreate him in a way until they found Heath Ledger.
Correct.
Heath Ledger filled that role as far as the aesthetics, damn near to a T. And then we lost Heath Ledger. So
after The Dark Knight, yeah.
But this is sad. And I agree with you. There's a difference between accident and negligence. This was a lot of negligence that led to
by many people.
Really bad. So yeah. If you're here for the sports talk, we're almost there. We have one more real life thing to deal with that we wanted to deal with because it makes no fucking sense to me or Jay. So we're gonna get to that, and then a woman was raped on a Philadelphia train while there were passengers there. Nobody did a thing. I think it was even reported that one or two people recorded it.
What are we doing, people? What are we doing?
I had to take this with a grain of salt at first because what I try to imagine is not only if the victim was the person I love, if the person I love was the other person in the car. Now, when they say that there was people there, I wanted to stop and get information first. I wanted to get information first because I wanted to make sure when they meant there were people there, they didn't mean like a 90-year-old Asian woman and like a 16-year-old girl.
You wanted to make sure before making your conclusions.
Right, because I wouldn't want them to physically intervene.
Right.
If they did, then more power to them. But I wouldn't expect that of them.
Correct.
But then I heard no one even called the police. What do you mean no one called the police? So neither of the two of them in the car.
Were they in an area where there was signal to call the police?
Yes, they were.
I mean, even if they couldn't call the police, they could have gotten in touch with the conductor in some way because in each car, there's always like some type of button or something where you can speak through it if you don't want to intervene, but you can at least tell someone of what's happening. I'll be quite honest with you. These situations always happen beyond my sight. I could never see anyone getting abused or being taken advantage of in front of my eyes. I could never see things like that. And I'm not saying it just to say it right now, but I would literally put my hands and feet on someone if I were to see some shit like that on any train, anywhere, any place, anytime. Just the other day, I was actually driving and I happened to see a man literally grab a female and he seemed like he was about to put his hands on her. I literally stopped, bro. in the middle of the street, I stopped and I got out of the car and I yelled at him. I said, "Hey!" And he looked at me and he thought about it twice before he put his hands on that female. And I was like, "You're not going to put your hands on her." And he just like looked at me and like he didn't say much. I don't know if he was high or if he was drunk or something like that. But the important part was they went their separate ways, you know, and I made sure that they went their separate ways because I stood there to see what he was going to do. Because if he was going to put his hands on her, I was going to run up to him and like slam him on a wall because that's how serious I take things like that. And it's just so sad that we're in a society that they just want to fucking put everything on social media. Someone was getting raped in a train car. Like, what are we doing as a people? What are we doing? We have to do a lot better than this. It just doesn't make sense to me. Just doesn't make sense to me.
The assault took place.
Fuck you to those who were in that train car.
For over 24 train stops. So it wasn't just 2 people in and out. There were at least 25 train stops where someone could have done something. And no one did a thing. It's disheartening. I want to be angry. Man. I want to be upset. I want to. But if anything else,
it's demoralizing. It's disappointing.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's disappointing. I was always told, and I can attest to this. Nothing ever hurt me more than the ones I love telling me that I let them down, or that I disappointed them.
Or you weren't there for them, right?
Right. Like, I can take you being mad at me all day. I can take it you. There's a lot of things I can take. But when you disappoint somebody, it's different because it means that I thought so highly of you that I knew if this would have ever happened, it wasn't a question. I knew your character. I knew what was going to happen. I live in Philly, bro. I live here now. Like the SEPTA train that this woman was on, it might not have been the train that my wife ever had to take, but it may have been. But my wife has been on this train system before. I haven't. I've never been on a bus. I've never been on a train. I've never been on a truck. Y'all know I don't fuck with that shit. I'm in my car. And now, because of the pandemic and all that shit, thankfully, me and my wife both have our cars. And she will not be on that shit. She will not be on that shit. Because shit like this happens. And I expect that if my wife were in a fucking public setting, for whatever reason, that I could at least believe she would be safe because there's groups of you. And there's been times where she's been on, my wife can tell you, there's been times where she's been on the bus and niggas be wilding on the bus. And I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, you good? She's like, yeah, this is how niggas is. And she up the street from the house. I'll walk it. I'm here at the bus stop. To believe that y'all niggas would let this happen like this, I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed. It lets me down.
And even crazier, people started recording it. Bro.
I'm good. I'm good on this. This shit, it bothers me. It bothers me. It bothers me to a place.
I think before aiding someone, if I were to see people recording, I smack their cell phones out of their hand. Literally, I'll smack cell phones out of their hand. That's a whole different level of disgusting. Not doing anything is one thing, and not saying anything either.
Not saying anything is something else. None of you even call the police.
That's not good. That's not good.
Okay, it's fuck 12. If it's really fuck 12, if you living by that code, if it's really fuck 12, that means you're supposed to take care of your community. If it's really fuck 12, you're supposed to step in there. You don't need no cops, right? So why the fuck you ain't step in? Well, I know one of you niggas was in there. Come on, dog. This shit crazy to me. No. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. The NFL, first off, Braves and the Astros World Series. Who you got?
Man, I didn't even envision, like, if you would have told me back in April that the Atlanta Braves were going to go to the World Series, I would have laughed in your fucking face. Literally. Because I would have been like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? I would have been like, bruh, like I could have clearly saw the Dodgers, for instance. You know, I could have seen, you know, just any other team basically but the Braves. But shout out to them. They seem like pretty much an inspired team, you know, at this moment in time. Even though I think they're going to eventually lose the World Series, which it pains me to say that as a Yankee fan. They will lose the World Series to the Houston Astros, but I think it's going to be a good series. But I think they're going to lose the 6 games, unfortunately. So I think in the end, cheaters do win.
I fucking hate the Astros, and I don't want to know.
I can't stand the sight, painting, fucking mural, whatever.
I didn't want you to say that they was going to win so badly. You said it, and I got so mad. Bro. I don't want the Astros to win anything.
No, bro, it's bad.
I don't want the Astros to win anything. I can't. If they never won another fucking game in franchise history, I'd be too fucking happy.
Yo, I think a Yankee fan's worst nightmare was to have basically an ALCS basically with the Astros and the Red Sox. Like, who the fuck do you lean towards in a situation like that? Like,
I lean towards the Red Sox because the reality is, I lean towards
that's
the
a big
B's,
statement in itself. As a Yankee fan, to lean towards the Red Sox, gosh.
Look, B, you know what's funny? I'm gonna tie this into.
That's like 2 poisons.
I'm gonna tie this into what Alexander Hamilton was talking about in Hamilton. He had a lifelong, I don't know if you want to call it feud, but it wasn't. He had a lifelong relationship with Alec Burr. And Alec Burr, sorry. He always felt like him and Hamilton were crossing the same paths, and Hamilton always progressed, and he never. Aaron Burr, sorry, there we go. Aaron Burr, and he felt like he never progressed past him, whatever the case may be. And the whole thing throughout the show is Burr is always talking about don't say too much, you know, speak less, listen more, and don't let people know where you stand. That way they can't hate you or love you too much.
Correct.
You can kind of just slide by and get where you need to go. And Hamilton was always, I'm going to speak my mind. So at the end of it all, when it came to endorsing someone Hamilton really didn't like, he didn't agree with at all, or endorsing someone he known his entire life in Alan Burr, well, not his entire life, but his entire adult life, he endorsed the nigga he didn't bang with. Because the rationale was, even though I don't bang with him, I know that he's going to die for his convictions. I know that he stands for something. I know that he's going to stand on, you know, his convictions. This nigga don't stand for nothing. Like, I'd rather side with that nigga than side with the nigga I know don't stand for shit. And that's how I felt. I feel like, even though I don't bang with the Red Sox, because I'm a New Yorker, because I'm a Yankee, there's a level of respect that comes along with that. Because you don't beef with niggas ain't worth your time.
Of course.
You don't beef with niggas that ain't worth your energy. So as much as New Yorkers and Bostonians don't want to admit it, there's a level of respect there that when one of us goes down, and there's a few people like the Astros. We might not say it out loud, but it's like, hey, y'all better bust their ass. You heard me? Like, go get these niggas. It's just for me. It's just
Right.
like when Derek Jeter retired, when the captain retired, and he got the Fenway Stadium. They gave him his, like, they had
a round of applause.
They had an entire thing planned for Derek Jeter at Fenway.
At Fenway, right.
That was one of the biggest nods of respect ever. And in return, when Big Papi went to retire, we had everything ready for him. Yeah, it's like when your arch nemesis is finally leaving. You're happy to see him go, but a part of you was like, now what?
Right, exactly.
Now who am I supposed to fight with now?
It's like the intrigue and the excitement is gone, basically.
Like, I remember when Pedro Martinez left.
Right.
It was like, bro, what the fuck now? Like, I used to look forward to play the Red Sox.
Look forward to those matchups, right?
Martinez. Now what happened? Like, and that's all I mean when it comes to the Astros and the Red Sox. The Red Sox are always going to have a certain level of respect that the Astros will never have ever again.
Fair enough.
So, all right, NFL.
Well, who you got though? You going for the Braves? Who you got?
I'm going Braves.
How many games?
4, hopefully.
Okay. That's big talk right there.
Once again,
okay.
I never want the Astros
that
to
would
win.
be a beautiful thing.
I never want the Astros to win another game. But realistically, I want the Braves to win it in 6.
Okay. So this is reality versus feeling. Okay.
I mean, reality is the Braves probably won't win, but
that's why
it is what it is. So
I figure this is perfect. We gave a dose of each then.
There you go.
To the people watching us. And shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in.
Braves and 5s. That's what my mama said. Okay.
We appreciate you.
All right, Mama.
I certainly hope that's the case, Mama. I certainly hope so.
Braves and 5.
Shit.
Good afternoon, Mama.
Good afternoon.
All right, so so NFL. Anything interesting you're looking forward to this week?
In regards to the 1:00 games, let me see. I think the Bengals and Ravens, actually, they're playing again at 1:00. Yeah, that should be an interesting game. They're somewhat, evenly matched. I see a lot of mismatches here on the schedule, to be quite honest, again, like last week. But that's the game that actually pokes out to me at the moment. The Bengals and the Ravens at 1. And let me see. I mean, Jets-Patriots, I'll probably take a peek in that game or whatever the case is. Let me check the 4:00 games. For the 4:00 games, Eagles, Raiders, Lions, Rams, Texans, Cardinals. I guess the Cardinals game, just to see, if it becomes a trap game in a sense, because they're still undefeated at the moment, 6-0. And Bears play against the Buccaneers at 4 as well.
I'm not interested in that.
Colts and 49ers.
Not interested in that game.
The Monday night game is actually Saints and Seahawks.
Not interested in that game.
Which kind of it loses a little bit since Russell Wilson is out.
I'm gonna watch it because the Mannings are calling it.
They're coming back, correct? Yeah. The Mannings, yeah, Eli and Peyton, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. But that's basically it in terms of the NFL at the moment. We're in the 7th week. We're in the 7th week right now, so we're close to the midway point. In this case,
it seemed like the niggas who make the schedule just took the 7th week and was like, niggas don't really want to watch it this week. Let's just throw some shit together. Because this week shit is trash. the whole this shit all trash. Don't nobody want to watch this whole
TV lineup trash.
This whole TV lineup is some garbage. This is why I'm going back to basketball today.
And I mean, you have more than a reason to say that as well, because the Cowboys are on a bye, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Trash.
So
Big trash. Somebody care about the big trash. Week 7, big trash. Everybody watch this shit.
But it's crazy because people still gonna tune in. Remember, the NFL is like the most watched television show in America, basically. So people.
I'm gonna turn it on and I'm gonna fall asleep.
I mean, do you have any fantasy players going?
Nope, I didn't play fantasy this year. I didn't have time.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
With everything that's going on and my life and
okay.
I didn't have time. I wouldn't be me. The me that usually wins. Right. I can't be him this year, so I'll wait till next year.
Well, shout out to my fantasy folks out there, who have players, to look out for, basically.
Yeah, buddy. All right, let's do this. Boom. NBA tip-off.
Man.
But before we get to that, boom. The 75th anniversary team came out, and boy, did it ruffle some motherfucking feathers.
This is okay. Before we get into it, I just want to say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You could put this as a disclaimer if you want, or whatever the case is. I feel like any list that you create is going to bring some sort of controversy. There's going to be some sort of snubbing that people don't like. It's going to ruffle feathers, like you just mentioned just now. And that's just a fact across the board. When you make any type of list for any type of sport, someone is going to have something to say about it, basically. And a lot of people had something to say about it.
I had a lot to say about this fucking list.
75.
I had a lot to say about this
75th anniversary NBA team. Man, so many people were left out, and so many people that were in there were so not deserving of it.
We're not gonna deep dive into this list because I'm not doing it, because I could be here.
No, I mean, we'd be here for 3 hours.
I'd be here all day.
We'd be here for 3 hours.
How did Vince Carter not make the top 75?
75th anniversary team, man.
Tracy McGrady didn't make it. Vince Carter didn't make it.
Nope.
Dwight Howard didn't make it.
Dwight Howard didn't make it. Klay Thompson didn't make it.
Klay Thompson didn't make it.
Klay Thompson, my goodness. One half for the Splash Brothers.
I can't with niggas, bro. I can't with niggas, bro. But no offense. Like,
what was the criteria for this? Do you know?
No, they just took this, what they thought was the 75 best niggas in history.
My goodness.
Like, I just feel some sort of way about it.
Yeah, this NBA 75, man. I mean, yo.
Like, I'm looking at this list right now.
It just don't make no fucking sense.
I'm looking at this list right now, okay? And Paul Arizin, why is he here? Why is he here?
Wow.
Dave Bing, why is he here?
Wow.
Why is he here? Okay?
Crazy.
I'm not going to hate on Sam Jones. What? Damian Lillard made top 75? I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that either.
I saw a lot of people on social media were saying that he should have gone in. I mean, he should have came out and Klay should have been in. I was like, nah, not for Dame. Nah, not for Dame.
Dwayne Wade made it. That's all that matters. Russell Westbrook made it, which I believe.
Kyrie Irving was snubbed too.
Kyrie definitely got the snub.
He got the snub. I think Paul Gasol got snubbed too.
There's a couple Paul got snubbed. There's a couple niggas that got snubbed, but I feel like bruh, there's a lot of nonsense that went on with this list. There was a lot of bullshit that went on with this list.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck put this shit together. Was it Adam Silver?
I don't know who put this list together, but it made me sad. It pissed me off. It pissed me off. What pissed me off the most about this list? is they just put together that other shitty list we had to take apart like 2 months ago. Remember?
Oh, the NBA rankings.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it was
not
terrible.
Even 2 months ago. It was like a month ago.
It was terrible. But that one was done by ESPN, which is a different
that was
entity.
done by ESPN.
Right.
This one, I was even more upset about this one because this one they show you who voted on this, and you look at some of the names. The NBA 75th anniversary team voting panel: Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Marv Albert, David Aldridge, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Charles Barkley, Rick Barry, Sue Bird, like Steph Curry. You telling me you ain't bring Clay with you?
Yeah, that kind of crazy.
Patrick Ewing. Why Patrick Ewing get the vote? Steve Kerr. So Steve Kerr and Steph Curry was on here and y'all couldn't get enough traction for Clay?
Yeah, that's bad. They didn't do their job.
Candace Parker was on here. Hey, boo.
They had one assignment to get Clay in there.
Hey, Candace Parker. Congratulations on winning. You know what I mean? The Sky won the WNBA championship. Congrats, Candace. I hope you're winning in life. You've been winning forever.
Yeah, she winning.
Mm-hmm.
She winning big time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen A. Smith. That's why Stephen A. Smith was on here.
Miss Candace.
Cheryl Swoops. Like, if you want, you can go on here. We can post the. I can send it to you, bro. Man. So you can post it up for the people who voted. But yeah, I'm not spending my time on it. This list was trash. Let's move on to the actual games.
Yeah, this shit was trash.
How was the NBA tip-off week for you so far?
It was fantastic, and I believe it exceeded all expectations. You know, when it comes to the NBA and when they first start the season, and you know, where a few teams were exposed, it seems like, to start off, and a day after, it seems like teams were exposed again. So it was just one of those situations. But it's like your boy Jay called it. I said that the opening game, the Bucks were gonna beat the Nets. I said that.
You did.
I mentioned that. I called it. And I also called that the Warriors were going to beat the Lakers as well.
I did too.
I called that as well. So,
I did too.
You called that as well?
Yeah.
Okay, kudos to you. Yeah.
We both saw that coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
But that's also because I don't know about you, but I'm not sold on the Lakers.
Right. I'm not completely sold on them as well, to be quite honest. You know, they're pretty much aged, you know, and they have too many veterans, and they have veterans coming out of the bench as well. And
they look bad.
They don't look like they have any type of synergy at the moment.
Niggas got into a fight. Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis got
and it was probably because of the NBA 75 list as well that they got into a scuffle.
They got into a scuffle on the sideline.
Howard was probably like, they left me out, motherfucker. What do you want me to do?
Put your bitch ass up there. Your bitch ass made it up.
They fucking put you up there and they put me? No, fuck you.
You soft as wet toilet tissue, nigga.
Right. Fuck out of here. You from the weaker generation, motherfucker.
But first off, the games have been entertaining, to say the least. The games have been entertaining, to say the least. I've watched both of the Nets games and have been disappointed in both of them. Okay, let me say this, because I can speak on my team, and niggas know I don't. The good and the bad that I've noticed with the Nets are exactly what I've expected of the Nets. The good is even in the losses, it reminds me of when the Warriors were around, like the championship Warriors, when they were running shit.
Right.
There were points and stretches where they were down to the Bucks 19.
Right.
But it never felt like they were out the game.
I see what you mean.
Because you get down by 19 against most teams, most niggas, that's pretty much the game for you.
Right.
Like
game over.
Like you get down by 19, then That's pretty much it, because that's a lot of points to not only have to make up scoring wise, but to stop the other team from scoring in the meantime. But 20 points is a lot. But what happens is the Nets have so much scoring power. Patty Mills came straight off the bench and put up, he went, what was it, 6 for 6 from 3-point line that game. And he had, like, they can catch fire so many different ways. Patty Mills in 2 games is 10 for 10 from the 3-point line. Like, LaMarcus Aldridge came out last game,
right,
and put up, what was it, 20 and 12 off the bench.
Off the bench, yeah. That's superb. That's
off
superb.
The bench. Patty Mills put up another 12 or whatever off the bench. Because of the firepower they have, being down by 20 meant nothing, because after a 3-minute run, they were back down 6.
Correct.
So that's the one thing that I can say, is that no game ever looked like, damn, we really out of this. The downside of that is, even in winning, my nigga, I never felt a fire in them at all.
Right.
They never looked like they were playing with any ounce of urgency
or any
whatsoever.
ounce of hunger. Right.
None. It looked like niggas stepped on the floor, did a bunch of shooting, and was like, did we win? No? All right, cool. We'll come back tomorrow.
Right.
There was no fire in KD or Harden or whatsoever. None. And maybe because
I agree.
Maybe because it's early, they felt like what they're trying to do, and I can understand it. They're trying to get together the rotations, and so on and so forth.
Correct.
So you don't really know who you're playing with. You don't know how long you're playing. They don't want to put too much invested into what's going on, and I understand. But show me some energy.
Something, right?
Show me some energy. So that was what I saw of the Nets. They still look like a top playoff team. They still, because they took a team in.
I mean, they'll be there. They'll be in the playoffs, no question.
And that's really what it is. There's certain teams that you're looking at, and
they'll be a top 3 seed.
Yeah, you're just looking. They're waiting to the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
They could have beat the Bucks, but they didn't. And then the Bucks turned around and got their ass stomped.
That's why I said the next night, they got exposed.
Got their ass stomped.
In a crazy way.
Stomp, nigga. The Heat.
Giannis got neutralized, and what they beat him by, more than 40 points?
Something crazy.
It was something
Giannis
crazy.
had 15 points. They smoked. Hey,
they smoked him. Yeah, you're right.
Yo, the Heat not playing no games.
No,
the Bulls ain't playing no games.
It seems like they're pretty much going to be a presence for the rest of the season.
The Bulls look fucking great
in the Eastern Conference, definitely.
DeMar DeRozan, he bought Jordan's old crib,
right?
And now he's trying to play like the GOAT. Mm-hmm. Zach LaVine out there looking great.
They have an impressive team. Definitely.
They look really fucking good. The Knicks looked really, really good. Even in the game they should have lost to the Celtics. This is not a hater. This is not me.
I got you. No. We should have lost. Yes.
Did you watch it?
We should have lost it. We had a lead and we gave it up at the end, and they made the buzzer beater actually to tie the game to send it into overtime. I'm talking about the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
So defensively, there was a big letdown in the fourth quarter of that game. Even though it was super exciting, it went to 2 overtimes. My Knicks came out with the win and all that. But, they were trying to set themselves up for failure.
Bro, I literally counted 4 possessions, 2 of them in a row, where the Celtics literally missed wide open dunks and layups. Missed wide open dunks and layups. we talking about wide open dunks and layups. They left 8
Shout out
points.
to you, mama.
They left 8 points on the floor from wide open dunks and layups, and I don't know why, because they were tired. It's the first game of the night. You're in double overtime.
And you're in double overtime.
And you're in double overtime.
That's a lot of minutes to log in for first game back.
So
and all the pressure and all the crowd was there, and like
I get it.
I mean,
the Knicks won. They won. I'm not taking anything from them.
They won ugly.
They won. It was an ugly win. Yeah, but they won.
Exactly.
But they look good. They look better than the Nets do.
There were a lot of bright spots, definitely, you know, and it seems like everyone collaborated. And
the Wiz.
Oh, we got the Wiz tomorrow. Okay.
Nah, the Wiz. He's saying they'll be 3-0 after tomorrow. So right now they're 2-0.
Okay.
The Wiz. I gotta give it to him too. The Wiz have looked good.
Bradley the Wiz has as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's not been a lot of teams I've looked at and been like, "Oh, them niggas is trash."
We actually mopped the Magic a few nights ago too. We hit like 24 3-pointers in that game, actually. So
that's what I'm about to say. I'm about to say Magic look trash.
Yeah,
Magic is one of the teams that
Fournier made sure they look trash too.
The Magic is straight ass. Magic straight booty cheeks.
Mm-hmm. Straight tire fire.
Oh God! Somebody get that franchise. Somebody get that franchise some help. Oh God, them fucking LaMelo Ball,
bro. But the Lakers though,
LaMelo Ball,
what
balling.
He was the one that bought the Lamborghini Urus and came out with the jacket with the same color as the vehicle.
Yo, y'all niggas say what you want. That shit was filthy. That shit was filthy.
It was filthy, but he still looked like a life-size highlighter, basically.
He did. But that shit was fly. Like niggas is hating. That'd be right up my steez, bro. I'd hop out the Lamborghini truck on you broke niggas with the coat.
He said broke niggas. He didn't say
the
niggas.
Coat,
broke niggas.
Yeah. Pull up. How dare you talk about my clothes matching? This car cost you more than your entire existence. Nigga, fuck what you talk about? I changed the paint. Nigga, what fuck you talking about?
Exactly.
I got enough money to own this. Go somewhere and talk about me in your projects.
Oh man.
Flip my coat behind me, nigga. Fuck you talking.
Exactly. Go back to your miserable life.
Go back to your tenements.
Exactly. Go back to your little hut.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go meet my wife at this project at the private jet and eat bacon wrapped scallops.
Exactly. We're gonna have some good old seafood. Well, you're gonna have some roaches from the sea tonight for dinner.
Yo, bro, the Lakers look bad.
Man, fucking bad, bro. Like
the Westbrook looks terrible.
Horror awful.
Bazemore looks terrible.
The only bright spots is bad. Yeah, they just look bad collectively as a unit.
Because
terrible.
what them niggas is doing, as soon as the ball touches their hands, not the Lakers, whoever they're playing, they're putting that age against them. Mm-hmm. They're saying push the ball.
They're telling them to run.
Yeah, push the ball.
Run and gun.
Because the only nigga on that team that can get back with you is Westbrook.
And they got Melo coming off the bench.
Melo's look decent. Melo's actually look decent. Rondo's look like individually. LeBron's look good.
I'm talking collectively.
Good, but collectively,
you see them making the playoffs. That face you making. You see them making the playoffs at least as an 8 seed? As an 8 seed?
No. With what they got going on right now? No.
We got to remember this part of the show, Power Folk.
Know what they got going on right now?
There's an admission going on right here with Sincere Da Vinci right now.
Not with the way
the Lakers.
the way they look right now? No.
Oh,
because what did you see First off, shout out to Chris Paul for being the first player in NBA history with 20,000 points and 10,000 assists. Never done before. Congratulations to CP3.
Shout out to you.
Did you watch what he did?
He's a living legend.
Booker?
He's a living legend. Yeah.
They literally put them niggas in screen and roll and said, we're gonna shoot this mid-range.
Yeah.
If you don't step up on the mid-range,
we're gonna tear your ass apart. Yeah.
And if you do step up, I'm gonna throw this alley-oop over your head and it's a dunk. And y'all are too slow, too big, and too old to do anything defensively about this. The second we get this ball on the rebound, we are pushing the ball up court. They are running a fast break from the weak side of the rebound the moment the shot goes up.
Run and gun.
Run and gun. That's it. Because the Lakers cannot get back.
Yeah.
The Warriors did that night one and smashed these niggas. The Phoenix Suns came in and said, they said we were supposed to lose to these niggas. Let's show them something. Came in and smashed these niggas. Bro, the Lakers are playing a dangerous game right now.
They are.
Because it doesn't, I know that it's the first couple games. You can fix skill. You can't fix physicality.
You can't at all.
If it takes you 15 seconds to run up the whole court, it takes you 15 seconds. No matter what you do, that's what it takes you. 15 seconds.
That's a fact.
You can't get no younger. You can learn whatever you want. But them niggas, if you can't get back on defense because y'all don't have the physical ability to do so,
it's curtains.
It's curtains for you niggas.
It's curtains.
That's it.
They may survive with that kind of team if, like, in another dimension, they were in the Eastern Conference, perhaps. But in the West, where you have teams that can run, they're going to have trouble all season. They're going to have trouble all season, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make the playoffs, even as an 8 seed.
They could. My thing about them is they have a chance as long as they can get buckets and force half-court offense. Because they're big enough and lanky enough that their fingertips almost meet all the way around the court.
Yeah.
Playing defense.
Yeah.
So there is no open nothing.
Nope.
If they can get you in the half-court defense,
they'll have a chance.
They can have a chance.
Right.
But if they don't do that, it's over.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
definitely. Well, it's time to wrap up.
Yeah, man. Got to get up out of here.
Time to get up out of here. It's 12:35. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Get that merch. Get that merch. Get that merch.
We appreciate y'all for loving us more than Jesus.
Definitely.
Church and coming in with us today. Tomorrow,
if you was hangover and watching us, shout out to you as well.
We appreciate that.
If you having a ham and cheese sandwich at the moment,
ham and cheese sandwich,
getting that popcorn ready, those potato chips ready for that football. Shout out to you. Enjoy the games.
Fuck them bum ass games.
So what you want people to go to sleep? What do you want?
Go live your life.
All right, go outside. Go live your life. You know what I'm saying?
Go outside. Go to the strip club. Go
to the strip club at this time. All right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, go live your life.
That's it. That's
love you too, mama. And go live. I'm going to play with my nephews.
Love your mama. I'm
literally getting off here and going straight to my sister's house to play with my nephews.
That sounds beautiful.
So, yeah, man.
I mean, Sunday is actually the day that you technically should spend, with family and, do family things, family activities outside and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. If you're not watching football indoors is what I'm saying. So,
I mean, usually I'm watching football, but right now, fuck that shit. So we're going to go and be great.
That's it. We're going to go and be great this week. Everyone have a wonderful week. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, we all know that, mama. We all know that. But it's fine. But it's fine. I love him just like that. I love his special self.
Big facts.
Just the way
subscribe,
he is.
like, do all that shit.
Yes,
Tomorrow
engage with
night,
us. Get that merch. Tomorrow night, JaySin Podcast OT on at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Convos app only. If you
exclusively
ain't got the
on the Combos app.
If you ain't got the Convos app, hit a nigga up. Hit Jay up. Niggas might have some extra invites to the app lying around.
Exactly.
All right, y'all.
We out of here. Peace.